NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV.
Just 3 days away from kickoff for the reigning AFC champion Chiefs, where they will play the Chargers from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Quarterback Patrick Mahomes talked about his expectations for the offense going into Week 1.
Yeah, I think every step of the way so far, they've done a great job of getting better and better and kind of checking those boxes. And so this will be a great test for them. I mean, this is a prolific D-line with Khalil Mack and really all throughout. They got depth at edge, D tackles, and they were one of the best defenses in the league this last year.
It's exciting. Definitely excited, to take the field with them, with all the guys, just ready to showcase what we could do.
So, Mina, as we look into this Week 1 matchup, how can this Chiefs offense take advantage of the Chargers defense even without Rashee Rice?
Yeah, I think this is an interesting one because in my mind, Kansas City needs to do a couple of things they weren't great at last year. One, explosive runs. I'm looking at this Chargers defense. They were solid against the run last year, but the loss of Poona Ford looms large. They love to play with light boxes. He had the most run stops of any defensive tackle on the team. I think that's a weakness Kansas City can exploit if Isaiah Pacheco looks more explosive than he did last year. And then the other thing I'd like to see them do is throw deep. This Chargers defense under Jesse Minter has been so good at tackling and keeping things in front of them. It's a big part of why they were 4th last year in APA per play, against short throws, 24th against deep throws. Now, the question, of course, with Kansas City is who can go over the top? Is it going to be Xavier Worthy? Is it going to be Hollywood Brown? Can the offensive line protect Patrick long enough to do so? I think that's going to be key for them, though, because I would really like to see him take a few shots downfield.
Oh, yep, and we're back in the new season, and we all look at film, and we think the same thing. But, Mina, to your point about explosive runs, Pacheco wasn't a big factor in that game last year, but you think about that's a big part. The Chiefs' offense needs to be more explosive in general. They weren't a very explosive offense last year, and something that we had got used to early in Pat Mahomes' season. I'm sure they want to bring that element back. But also protecting him, which is going to be the question for the Chiefs going forward. They Chargers sacked him 3 times last year. I think Bud Dupree had 2, and they split one on a pressure. I'm sure they're gonna want to try to take care of that and hopefully exploit a matchup. You got young Simmons in there, and you think about this offensive line for Kansas City. The last time they walked off the field, they were destroyed, and I know it's not the same one. But Andy Reid was there and Pat Mahomes was there. They're going to try to correct some of those things. And when the Chiefs have been good, as much as we get enamored with their quarterback and their ability to push the ball downfield, they are very explosive in the run game and timely runs and even the screen game as well.
The Chiefs' offense needs to change. The reality is the Chiefs' offense needs to evolve. The team that lost 1 game last year and went to the Super Bowl, it needs to change. Because Mina's point is correct. Okay, they want to get more explosive, take more shots down and hit more shots down the field. You can't do that in today's NFL if you aren't play action pass centric or have a freak on the outside. We know that they don't have a guy on the outside that is that problem. So how much play action pass are they going to do, and how much does the new side or left side of that offensive line help them do that? Those are 2 new players at those positions playing together. How good those 2 young players, Kingsley and Simmons, play together is going to determine how much they can hold on to the football. I'm of the belief, as great as Andy Reid is and as smart as Matt Nagy is, this offense schematically needs to evolve. You cannot create explosive plays on a consistent basis.
He came back to life. I was going to ask Dan a question. Dan, is that putting Pat under center more? Is that putting Pat under center more?
Yeah, I mean, yes. Yes, they have to put Pat under center more. They have to put a couple more bigger bodies on the field. The run has to look like the play action. Like, there has to be those 3-level concepts. They were great at the sail concept last year, someone vertical, someone on a corner and flat, but that was really all that they were great at in the play action game. But it needs to be a little bit less catch and throw or catch and hope shot down the field, and a little bit more we are going to be. Yeah, I mean, the RPOs I still want, but there has to be more play action play action shots that happen from traditional sets.
Yeah, this is fascinating because you know that Andy Reid is always ahead of the game, or at least usually ahead of the game when it comes to the offensive mind that he is. So it feels like they probably know they need to do some of this evolution, and if they do, we might see him back in the Super Bowl once again. All right, so much of the recent conversation has been about the Cowboys, but how about their Week 1 opponent in just a couple of days? The Eagles, the reigning Super Bowl champion Eagles, I should say. Jalen Hurts and company, they've been practicing. They were out there today, and before we know it, they're going to be beginning their quest for a repeat. We welcome in Sal Paolantonio for more on the Eagles as they look to kick off their title defense on Thursday night. As I was saying, and Sal, you were out at practice today. What can you tell us about the Eagles? They got some good news. What's going on?
Laura, you made me chuckle. Yeah, let's talk about the Cowboys' Week 1 opponent. Those Super Bowl champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. I was out on the practice field here at the NovaCare facility about 3 hours ago, and there we saw, let's get right to the news, starting left guard Landon Dickerson, full participant in practice. Remember, he had knee surgery 2 weeks ago, was out of practice for 2 days with a back injury of some sort, but he's back, and that means that the Eagles offensive line will be at full strength against the Dallas Cowboys, and it's all hands on deck for the Super Bowl champs. A.J. Brown, wide receiver, also a Pro Bowl player. He has been dealing with a hamstring injury throughout the summer. He talked about attacking this Dallas defense under new defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus. Here's what he had to say. Listen to this.
A lot of challenges, honestly. You know, it's a division game. I know everybody's focused on Micah, but, you know, the games be closer than what you think. So regardless of whatever the score was in the past, those games are one of our most physical games, and we know they're going to bring it. But they do a lot of good things on defense. I won't get into it right now, but, you know, it's definitely going to be a challenge Week 1. So.
You know, Dallas week in Philadelphia is just different. It's like Christmas in September. And it's always crazy around here when these two teams play one another in the Rumble and the concrete jungles. I like to talk about it. But this is a once-in-a-lifetime event, Laura. Just think about this for a second. Dallas at Philly, Week 1 of the NFL season, hasn't happened in 55 years.
Woo.
Go back to 1970. Was the last time it happened in Week 1. That was in Franklin Field at the University of Pennsylvania. I got all the gray hair to prove it. I was there. I remember.
Oh, I love it. Now, Sal, by the way, if it's Christmas in September, that means you're Santa Claus. There's just no doubt.
I'm always Santa Claus. I got 4 grandchildren.
Yeah, I can only imagine the joy coming out of that. All right, incredible stuff. Coming up, Aaron Glenn's head coaching debut is here as he looks to lead the Jets into a new chapter. Stay tuned to hear what Mina thinks is key in unlocking this offense's full potential. That's next.